Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today is your assessor of the city of Fitchburg, Amy Mercer. Amy, welcome back to the show. You've been on here before, but now you're serving as the city's assessor.
Yes, thank you for having me today.
Glad to have you back on here. I know you're a little nervous being back on, the TV
Yes.
thing, but you're gonna do just fine. We're gonna work through this together and talk about the assessing what you guys do, and you've got a lot of stuff coming up here. We've got open book coming up, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, and board of review as well. Date set for that. But let's just take it back a little bit. What is your department responsible for?
So our department is responsible to create the assessment roll each year. So we Fitchburg revalues every year, and we basically are setting values at fair market value.
Now, there's a lot of and I'm not a newer homeowner, but still trying to understand all the terms and stuff that go through this. So, I'm using the website here as a cheat sheet for me too, because I like to learn from this stuff too. But in a quick summary, how is a property valued?
So what exactly are you asking?
I'm asking this. Let's just start with as far as you guys going out and making an assessment on a property each year. What do you guys do to take those steps?
Okay, so we get copies of all the building permits, and we review all sales. So we don't come out to inspect the building permits like building inspection, but we come out to alter the data for whatever changes the property owner has done. So we'll review sales, permits, owner requests for review. We'll do periodic reviews around the city based on neighborhoods. And we collect the data. So we'll collect all the data on a house, the square footage, room counts, bathroom counts. And then we enter that data into our system, and we use basic cost tables. And that creates the assessment for that property. And then we look at the sales and see how the market is changing. So one part of town, the sales might show it's increasing 4%. Another part might show it's increasing 7%. So then we'll apply market adjustments to try and keep those assessments in line with what the market is doing.
Tough job, I know for sure, and I know you guys work very hard over there. We're coming up to open book. For those who don't know what open book is, well, let's first just get the dates out there. This will be starting Wednesday, May 1st through Tuesday, May 14th, 7:30 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. Weekdays right here at City Hall. What are folks able to come in and do during open book?
So here, open book is handled really informally. So you can call our office and talk about the assessment over the phone. You can stop in and see one of us, and we'll talk about it. We'll pull up the data, go over the data that we have on your property, make sure that data is listed accurately for you. Or if you think something isn't accurate, we'll actually schedule a walkthrough of the property with you if that's what you're comfortable with. And that way we can see for our own eyes what needs to be altered, or if something needs to be altered. Some property owners just want to know what the average change in their neighborhood was. So some people will call and ask us that question. I'm hoping, time allowed, that we can put some extra tools on our website that property owners can go and look at, like the average increase per each residential neighborhood. We have a sales book that we put together of all the sales that occurred this year and the data on those and those sale prices. So I'm hoping we can add some of that and do a little more customer service for property owners.
But basically, come in, bring your questions, and get them answered. Don't leave them unanswered, right? Get in here, ask questions, do what you can, and then that does move on to board of review. If you could just give the quick scenario of if you can't work it out in open book, that's what the board of review is for.
Correct. Open book is the informal appeal process where you talk with us and we can still look at that data and analyze it. And then board of review is a more formal process. It's more like a quasi-court hearing. At the point of board of review, it's up to the property owner to prove the assessor is inaccurate. So we always recommend that people come and talk to us during open book, because then we can look at that. We can look at an appraisal. We can double check those values, and we can work with you one-on-one. At the board, we have to defend that value. So no matter what, I have to defend that value where it's at. So
Better off coming and talking to you first, get that process
Yes,
started. You have to fill out some
definitely.
paperwork too if you are going to do a board of review as well. So keep that in mind, that you're better off just giving starting to talk with you guys and make sure. If anybody has any additional questions related to what you guys do, how you do it, all of those things. Again, I know it's complicated, hard to define here in a 6-minute interview. So where can people find more resources?
You can find resources on our city website under the assessor's page. You can also find resources on the Department of Revenue's web page. But most of those resources we have linked right on our city webpage. So if you go to ours, you can find that out. If you don't have access to the internet, you can always call us. We typically will print off copies and things like that if you'd like one. We can email you copies, so you can send me an email and I can email you the copy of like the guide for property owners or your appeal guide that the Department of Revenue creates for us.
Perfect. And yeah, if you haven't come in and said hi to Amy, very nice. And all of your staff is very nice and friendly, very approachable, I think, which helps. And real quick here, as far as you taking on the new role as assessor, what do you look forward to working on in the future for the department? Put you on the spot right here.
Well, I like to make things as lean processes as we can. I want to try and enforce a little more, or try to create a little more customer-friendly atmospheres, more resources for property owners. I want to work on, a lot of things like imports with building inspection to save time on that. Trying to think of some other projects.
I know we're going to have a lot of outreach here. I'm looking forward to working with you through Fact TV. We're going to help get the outreach out as well, and I think it's important. So, well, either way, glad you had some time to come in. Again, open book coming up here real soon. With the information's on the website, and Amy, we'll have you back soon, I hope.
Okay, thank you.
You did wonderful. You made it easy. All right, Amy Mercer, your assessor here at City of Fitchburg. We'll take a quick break. You are watching Talking Fitchburg.